What's going on, Dolphins fans? It's Connor from the Dolphins Dive, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the Dolphins' upcoming matchup against the Tennessee Titans on Monday Night Football. Coming off a dominant victory against the Washington Commies, Dolphins look to carry that momentum into a home game on Monday Night Football against the Tennessee Titans. Without further ado, we're going to hop right into today's video, starting with the Miami Dolphins offense versus the Tennessee Titans defense. I'm going to start with the statistics. Obviously, the Dolphins are coming off a great performance offensively, and the Titans are coming off a brutal loss to the Colts. But Dolphins are second in points per game, just barely behind Dallas. The Titans' defense is 16th in points per game allowed. Dolphins are first in passing yards per game. The Titans are 22nd in passing yards allowed. And the Dolphins are second in rushing yards per game, and the Titans are 13 in rushing yards allowed. So overall, Dolphins' offense continues to be dominant in terms of the statistical categories. The Titans are about the middle of the pack, which, with considering the unit that they have, is pretty impressive in my opinion. If you look at their depth chart, they don't have a lot of big names or talent, and they're just making it work. And I think that goes into what to expect from the Titans defensively. I have a lot of respect for Mike Vrabel as a coach, and I feel like he's shown year in, year out that he's a very good defensive-minded guy, and his defenses tend to reflect that. So their defense has a chance to keep them in this game. I don't think it's going to be the case. They're without their best player on their entire roster in Jeffrey Simmons, who's arguably the best defensive lineman in all of football, which is a massive blow for them. So the Dolphins hopefully should be able to do what they want offensively. Like I said, they lack a lot of firepower, especially on the defensive front. They have some solid players that I don't think get enough talk, like players like Danico Autry. But overall, without Simmons, it's a huge blow. And that's why the first key of the game for the Dolphins offense is just continue to build that run game, because against the Jets, it was prevalent. Against the Commies, it was also there. Just keep building it through December, so that way once it's playoff time, and if you're playing an away game, hopefully the Dolphins keep the 1 seed, and it's all in South Florida, sunshine and heat, but you never know. But regardless if we're on the road, rain, snow, doesn't matter. Run game and defense will always travel. Said that last week, reiterating it this week. If we can continue to build that run game, it just makes this team as a whole so much more dangerous. You can play ball control to keep the other offense off the field or to kill a game, and it just makes the threat of the play action and the pass that much more lethal, because if they're playing a 2 safety high look because they want to prevent Tyreek from taking the top off, and they bring the safety down because they can't stop the run, then guess what? Then you can break the top off again. So it just makes this offense so much more dangerous if you're able to continue to establish their run game, which hopefully they're able to do. Dolphins, who knows what the offensive line is going to look like. Armstead's dealing with an injury. Robert Hunt's dealing with an injury. Last time Hunt was out, Eichenberg was at right guard, but then this past game, Eichenberg was at left guard. So who knows? I'm expecting it might be a full-blown backup offensive line for the most part, with Keon Smith at left tackle, left guard being Lester Cotton, Connor Williams at center, right guard being Liam Eichenberg, and right tackle being Austin Jackson. If I had to guess, that'd probably be my best guess, but who knows what we'll see on Monday, not Sunday. But the Dolphins are probably going to be out some offensive linemen. But like I said, their Titans are without their game wrecker in Jeffrey Simmons, which is a big relief for the Dolphins. Some players to watch for the Titans defense, just to keep an eye on. Like I said, none of these names are huge. Besides the top guy, I have a lot of respect for Harold Landry. I think he's one of the most underrated edge guys in football. I think he's a very, very good edge, so he's a good player for them. Obviously, Jeffrey Simmons is one of the best linemen in football, but he's going to be out. They have Danico Autry, who I mentioned, and then Sean Murphy-Bunting's the guy they got from Tampa Bay, who's had an up and down time with Tennessee, but he's a good name and a player to watch out for. Now on to the Dolphins defense, which has continued to get better against this Titans offense, which is pretty measly if I had to say so myself. Titans offense is 25th in points per game. Dolphins defense is 21st in points per game allowed. Titans are 27th in passing yards per game. Dolphins defense are 9th in passing yards allowed. Titans are 17th in rushing yards per game, and the Dolphins are 8th in rushing yards allowed. So Dolphins beat the Titans in every single category like they did offensively, which is a great sign, especially similar to the Titans' offensive side of the ball. They probably are going to be without Derrick Henry, who's suffering an injury. So if they're without Derrick Henry, who's their best offensive player, and who they rely on heavily to operate this scheme, it's going to be a long day for them, in my opinion. Offensively, I think it's going to be similar to what we saw against the Commanders with their offense not being able to get much going. I see a very similar game happening in that essence. Like I said, no Derrick Henry. This defense continues to get better week in, week out, playing dominant brand of football. I don't really have a defensive key because I've said it week in, week out recently. It's just like, just continue doing what you're doing because they're there. They're playing at such a high level. I guess the first key would be just to stop the run, because if they stop the run, you force them to second and third and longs, and you just do what you do with Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard doing what they're doing. Vic Fangio has been calling great defensive plays. Even there was a time in the Commanders game where he perfectly called a safety rotation for the safety to fly down, and the safety flew down. It was Brandon Jones, and covered the flat, and the ball was going. It was a all-out blitz, and the ball went immediately to the flat, and Brandon Jones was right there. Like, Vic Fangio is a defensive mastermind, and he's got these boys playing right. We've got the pieces. This defense is just firing on all cylinders. So really stop the run and just to continue to do what they do, because we've been dominant against the run and the pass, and as an overall defense for the past 5 weeks now. I think that points per game number is a little inflated. I'm using ESPN. I think that might include the points that the offense gives the opposing team. I know the Tua pick 6 against the Jets, Tyreek Hill scoop and score for 6 against the Chiefs. There was multiple times against the Raiders where we gave them the ball in our own territory already, and they just kicked field goals, which I don't attribute those points to the defense. So this defense has been playing amazing. So stop the run, continue doing what you're doing, and I think we'll expect another dominant victory. Obviously, any given Sunday, any team can win. I'm not saying the Dolphins are invincible, but on paper and from what we've seen most recently from the Dolphins, this game should be handled pretty easily on both sides of the ball. Some players to watch for the Titans offense, because like I said, all NFL players. Obviously, they have the legend himself, DeAndre Hopkins, who's still playing at a pretty high level. Obviously, he's had an unfortunate stretch of picking teams with the Cardinals and now the Titans, but he's still a solid player. And then their rookie quarterback, Will Levis, he's similar to Sam Howell. I would say Sam Howell's been playing better, though. I don't want to discredit Sam Howell, but he's, I don't want to say an all-or-nothing kind of guy, but he'll make huge plays and he'll also make some bad plays. So that's kind of what you expect from a rookie. And I don't see a rookie quarterback having much success against this Vic Fangio defense. I expect a lot of running the ball from them, just trying to keep it close, keep our offensive. They want a low-scoring game, basically, where they can try and just out-nudge us. I don't think it's going to be the case. I don't think they'll be able to move the ball quite easily, and I don't think they're going to be able to stop our offense, really. So I expect a dominant Dolphins victory. Before I say my score prediction, comment yours down below. I'm 9-3 on the season. The Dolphins are 9-3. I may or may not have picked them to win every game. I know I'm a biased homer. And I'm 20-9 on my predictions dating back to last year. So pretty good with the predictions, if I do say so myself. Although the Dolphins have made it easy with basically winning most of the games. But my score prediction is the Dolphins win 34-13 in primetime. That's my prediction. Comment yours down below. Appreciate you guys for watching. And until next time, I'll catch y'all.